So in this video, I'm going to provide a quick introduction to the user interface for the Inovo robot. So on the right, we have a 3D visualization, which shows the current position of the arm and where the waypoints are. And on the left, it has a Blockly workspace, which allows us to define the sequence of steps that the robot will move through and any other actions it has. So what this allows you to do is drag functions out of the toolbox. So we've got some maths functions, some text, some movement, and some basic logic like repeating loops and testing the state of things or having delays. So I've got an initial point on the canvas there, which is a waypoint that we can see here. It's number 1, so I can move the robot here. And the robot goes to that point, and then I can use these arrows to move the robot to the next point from there. So you can see as I move the 3D model, those arrows move as well, so it always makes it clear what direction the robot will go in. And I can rotate the head around that. I can move it in any of the 3 axes. So if I insert a new point there, you can see that it draws a line between those points. And then I can move up the arm, insert another one. I can move it back across that way and over here, and change the orientation and insert another one. So we've got 4 points in a row there. So now if I press the play button, the robot runs through those sequences, and we've essentially taught it a simple set of steps. And you notice between the 3 and 4 that it takes an arc, and that's because it's moving in the shortest path to get there for the robot. But if I set that to linear, then it will go in a straight line between that point. So the robot moves there, and then it follows that line perfectly along. But it does stop at each of these points along the way, which adds a bit more time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a blend around that. And a blend basically allows it to go near a point, but it doesn't have to touch it and come to a stop. So if I put the blend under the start and then add my list of points in that, now as the robot runs, it will approach those points and essentially whip around the corners without actually coming to a stop there, which gives us a much smoother, faster motion. So another really powerful feature of this interface is allowing you to do visual simulations. So what I can do is I can drop some CAD models into this space. I've got a few here from earlier. I drop them in, and suddenly the robot is in a real environment. So in this example, we've got a space with a demo room, essentially, with a lathe in the background and the robot and an environment around it to give it more context. So I can program the robot in this space and create a visualization of the task it's going to do. And this can be very powerful for showing customers and for testing out the intended use before having to physically set up the whole system. And this also works really nicely in VR. So we've got a VR interface which allows you to essentially program it wearing a VR headset and then see it move in front of you in real time. So I can run that same sequence in there, and I can program it to pick up parts and move them around the scene.